Hello everybody, and welcome to the MMZ2 Let's Play. So, as was the case with the Lost Age, this is kind of a continuation of the previous Mega Man Zero LP. So, let's start, shall we? It has been a year since Zero chose to take a different path from Cial. He still fights against Neo Arcadia, but these battles have lost meaning for him. Zero knows that to find his purpose, he should find Cial and the Resistance soldiers. Let's go. Alright, here we go. And before we do anything else, I want to quickly change the button settings, because the Type A and Type B never really work for me. So, let's... Actually, no. Yeah, there we go. Wait. Yeah. And let's actually change the weapon. And one tiny detail that I do really like. That's a nice attention to detail right here. So Zero has been fighting in the desert for, I believe, a year now, and he is in quite a state of disrepair, as you can see from the UI. The element, sub-tank, escape unit and elp tabs have been completely destroyed, and even though we have access to our weapons, they have sadly been reduced to level 1 yet again, which I guess makes some sense if they are in a state of disrepair. And even Zero's portrait looks a bit damaged right there. Anyways. And of course I messed it up. Why did I mess it up? For whatever reason it's stuck with the first one. So these enemies right here, I don't believe I ever mentioned this before, but they're called Pantheons. And I believe they're the enemies with the most variants in the game. These ones right here, I believe they're called Pantheon Guards or Pantheon Shooters. And we can just fight them endlessly, but they will never stop coming. This isn't fun anymore. Yeah, I have to agree. So, let's go the other way. And right there, we got our first Cyber Elf, and a nice little touch is that the game will now tell you the name of the Cyber Elf that you just obtained. So for this enemy, the Golem right here, I'm actually going to use the Sea Buster. The Sea Saber of course deals more damage, but it can be a bit tricky to know exactly how to position yourself in front of him so that you can hit him without getting hit yourself. So even though it is a bit slower, I do prefer using the Sea Buster on these guys. And one other detail. Even though we have almost full health, since Zero is technically exhausted from fighting for over a year, even his standing animation is the damage one. So that's a nice touch. And here we have yet another one. I believe we only fought one Golem in the first game, and it was considerably weaker than this one. Yeah, this one only has 2 attack patterns, which are fairly easy to figure out. Alright, let's change to the Sea Saber. We got an extra life. Nice. Come on. And we got another Cyril from the hidden container. And of course we have a boss fight, even though we are pretty much in the middle of the desert. So this enemy right here, the game never calls him out by name, but it is called Mega Scorpio. And one cool detail is that you can actually destroy its pincer if you hit it enough. And he will occasionally use it to defend against attacks. Let's see if we can actually destroy it. I think one more attack should do it. Yep. There we go. Alright, nice. So we got an S rank. In the first game, getting an A or S rank wasn't really that important, but from this point onward it's going to be really important. So if you're playing this game for the first time and you want to get access to everything again the game has to offer, I would advise that you at least try to get an A or S rank on this first mission. Somehow I did it. But it cost me everything. Zero. To live or die? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to your great efforts, it gives me great pleasure to announce the completion of this new resistance base. I thank you all for accepting me as the commander of this new base. I promise to bring about a new era of peace. I am still a little embarrassed when I think about being a commander. Are you sure about this? Trusting our fate to a Reploid like me? Absolutely. It was you who organized us to fight against Neo Arcadia, when we were barely able to escape from there. I am flattered, but you helped me all along. You know how unreliable I am without you, Seattle. You just keep in mind that we had to organize a resistance force in order to defend ourselves. Yes, I will remember that. And now we are buying time for you to complete your research. Still, since X has not been resurrected yet, we couldn't ask for a better opportunity than now. Please, allow me to carry out my operation. Alright. But promise me one thing. Do not be too strict. You have my... Excuse me, sir. It's about Zero. He was found lying unconscious, just outside the base. What? Zero? This way. Zero! Zero! Zero. Zero. I'm glad you're alive, Zero. Zero, you're functional again. You were in rough shape. I'm amazed you're still alive. Welcome back. Where am I? You are in our new resistance base. Thanks to you, we were able to escape from Neo Arcadia and start a new life in this place. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry that we were unable to come rescue you. Come on, Ciel. Zero must be very tired. I know you have a lot to discuss with him, but why don't we let him rest for a bit? And Zero, I'm afraid that most of your weapons were broken, therefore I have fixed them. I also created a new weapon, so why don't you come by later to pick it up? Okay, I'll go here. I'll be in my lab for a while. Come talk to me when you're feeling better. Alright, so here we are at the new resistance base. And well, there's a couple of new things. First off, we have a completely new UI. And we have forms and EX skills, which I'll go into more detail later. And of course, we have our cyberelves. So, one other thing, even though Serbo said that he fixed our weapons, sadly we still have to level them up again. Even though Zero should be more than capable of simply doing a triple slash combo by memory, but whatever. You have recovered, Zero. You are known by all of our resistance soldiers. Well, except for the really new members who have just arrived here recently. If you meet someone, please press up on the control pad and then you will talk with them. They will be glad to talk to you. And remember, Ciel and Serbo are looking for you. So even though he says that we should discuss or talk to any of the new resistance soldiers, we cannot go any further. And here we have the new commander. We could talk to him, but we can also ignore him. Wait a second. Allow me to introduce myself, Zero. My name is Olpaiso. I have been appointed as commander of this new resistance base. I have heard a lot about you. Please, lend your support to us. Let's fight together and destroy Neo Arcadia. Destroy Neo Arcadia. It's not that easy. Then what are you gonna do? I don't know. You are a funny Reploid. Anyway, nice to meet you, Mr. Legend. Anyways. So first, let's go talk to Serbo. How are you doing, Zero? Honestly, how can you wear out your weapons like that? But don't worry, I have fixed them. I even created a new weapon called the Chain Rod for you. It is an outstanding weapon. Want the instructions? Sure, why not? With the Chain Rod, you can hook and then hang on the ceiling, or draw in an item. You can stab an enemy by holding the attack button, as well as hitting an enemy normally. It is a useful weapon. You can also draw in an enemy once they are stabbed by pressing the control pad. Why don't you try to hook the ceiling and to hang? Okay, I'll get back to my research. Use it wisely. And we got the Chain Rod, and also the Shield Boomerang. So yeah, Why not we just... No, sorry, didn't mean to talk to you. Yeah, sure, we mastered it. So, we're gonna use it. The chain rod is like the second phase of the upgrade to the triple rod, which was a pretty dismal weapon. Even then, though the chain rod is better, I still prefer the weapon that comes next. But for now it's okay. So yeah, we can use it to hang, like that. And we can also drag items, like that. And of course, even though he just created the weapon, we still have to level it up. Zero, are you okay? Uh-huh. That's good. I was so worried about you. We have been trying so hard to find you. I'm glad you found us. I found you? I came here before I lost consciousness. Do you remember what I'm working on? I'm conducting research that will help develop a subsequent energy for energy crystals. It is a great invention that can drastically change the world. Change the world? Neo Arcadia began its iron-fisted policy because of the energy shortage. In order to protect the human society, Reploids were discriminated against, labeled inferior citizens, and were sent to concentration camps for retirement. History shows that an energy shortage in an era usually triggers a large-scale conflict. Once a substitute energy has been developed, the destructive conflict ends. When I told this story to the Commander El Paiso, he laughed at it. He does say he will wait until I succeed in developing a subsequent energy, but in truth, El Paiso believes defeating Neo Arcadia is the only way to regain peace. I have to finish this. I will bring order to the world, not with destruction, but by the power of science. My research is almost done. I still need a little more information though. Anyway, I'm going to manage your data for you. If you need me, come and talk to me anytime, okay? Save data? Sure, why not? So yeah, we can always come to speak with Cial and she will save our data, and we can also discuss cyber elves with her. Just in case you forgot, the cyber elf is a type of program which was created to support us. Usually you can use it after you download it. However, some of them cannot be used unless they are bred. Also, although we created them with our most cutting-edge technology, a cyber elf cannot be resurrected. So please, use each of them wisely. So that was a decent intro as to how the cyber elves work, but let's go into a bit more detail. So the cyber elves are divided in three categories: nurse, animal, and hacker. Nurse cyber elves are usually related to increasing maximum health, restoring health, increasing your number of lives, or creating sub-tanks, and a few other similar functions. Animal cyber elves usually boost physical abilities such as running, climbing. They also provide assistance in combat and a few other things. And finally we have the hacker cyber elves, which, well, as the name implies, they hack certain parameters of the stage that you're playing at. For example, they may remove all enemies from the stage, aside from mini-bosses and bosses, of course. They may change enemies into a different enemy. They may stun enemies in the screen for a while, and they may also change your battle rank and alter the value of a few items. However, regardless of whether they are nurse, animal, or hacker, all cyber elves are divided in three other categories: the small, medium, and rare types. Small cyber elves have several copies of themselves, meaning that you can use their effects more than once. They do not require any energy crystals. The duration of their effects is temporary, which may mean a couple of seconds or the duration of the stage in which they were used, and the score deduction is also temporary. So usually if you're playing the game without using any cyber elves, at the end of every mission you will receive 15 points in your score. However, the more cyber elves you use, the more that score will go down. Luckily, small cyber elves only have a score deduction of 1 for that particular stage, so you don't really have to worry that much with them. Up next we have the medium cyber elves. Some medium cyber elves have copies while others do not, and they require cyber crystals, e-crystals, that can range from 250 to 400, with the exception of one that actually only requires 70. Their effect duration is temporary for a few and permanent for some others, and well, this score deduction as well. And finally we have the rare cyber elves. They do not have any copies of themselves. They require a range of energy crystals from 700 to 1000, and the duration of their effect as well as the score deduction that they have is permanent. One other thing to keep in mind about permanent score reductions: they usually have a higher score reduction the first time they are used, but in any subsequent stages the score reduction is lower. Alright. So we got a couple of cyber elves in that first mission, so what I'm going to be doing for this particular let's play is that at the end of every episode I will be going over any new cyber elves that we may obtain, doing a short analysis of them, that being their name, how many duplicates, if they have any duplicates there are, any energy crystals that they may require, as well as their effects and possible point deductions. And well, let's actually go over the topic of forms. We'll leave EX skills for later when we can actually, well, obtain one. So forms are specific, let's say, transformations, or however you want to call it, that you can unlock as you play the game. Right now we only have the basic form, so I guess we might as well go over it. So all forms have 3 stats: power, defense and speed. The basic form is has a value of 2 for each of them, and it of course doesn't really have any special effect or anything that makes it stand out from the others. And how you obtain it is, well, you obtain it by simply playing the game. So, that is the Operation Righteous Strike. We are going to take advantage of the absence of X and thrust our forces upon Neo Arcadia. Victory is in your hands. For a better tomorrow for all Reploids! For our future! Why, it's you, Zero. We are now preparing for an operation. Unlike the past minor scale ones, this operation will inflict a crushing blow to them. Once it succeeds, it will boost the morale of the resistance. Neo Arcadia is not a sitting duck. We should not carry out a frontal assault. We should gain time with guerrilla operations and wait for Cial to complete her research. Thank you for the advice. We are going to continue our guerrilla activities. We have gained strength, and we are ready to work it out by ourselves. I'm sorry, I was too harsh. Needless to say, we still appreciate your cooperation. Will you help us? Sure. Thank you. Now, here is the current missions I'd like to ask of you. Look at the monitor. Can you see them? They may not be enough of a challenge for a legendary hero, but it would be very appreciated if you help us. Alright, so we are now back to the more classic stage select screen, but we're going to leave this for later. So, we survived the desert and we were apparently saved by Arpuya, and we found the new resistance base. Next time we're going to see if we can assist the new commander with a few of the guerrilla activities. But one last thing before we go over the cyber elves. I'm going to do a little bit of grinding off screen, not for energy crystals, but I will be leveling up the weapons. I'm not sure that I will be taking them all to their last level, but I do want to have access to the charge shot on the Buster and the triple slash on the Sea Saber. So we'll see where we go from there. Anyways, next time we'll begin with the missions for the commander. See you guys then. Arnew is a medium nurse cyber elf. She has 1 duplicate. She requires 300 energy crystals. Her effect is that she grants you 2 new lives, and if you happen to run out of lives and choose to retry or continue, you will start off with 2 more lives than usual. She has a permanent point deduction of 5 points on the stage that she is first used, and then 2 points for any other further stages. Berwin is a small animal cyber elf. He has a bunch of duplicates. He requires no energy crystals at all, and its effect is that it will save you from falling into a pit, but only once. And it has a temporary stat deduction of 1. Item Eater is a small hacker cyber elf. It has a bunch of duplicates. It doesn't require any energy crystals at all. Its special effect is that it makes it so every single enemy would drop either a health pickup or an E-crystal for the duration of the stage that it is used. And it has a point reduction of 1. A temporary point reduction of 1. M. Orina is a small hacker cyber elf. It has a bunch of duplicates. It doesn't require any energy crystals at all, and its effect is that it will transform all of the enemies in the stage into metals, which are pretty much metals. Do keep in mind one thing: metals will never drop any cyber elves, so if you want to obtain all the cyber elves in one stage, you will have to replay the stage once more. As for the point deduction, it has a temporary point deduction of 1. Stockholm is a small hacker cyber elf. It has a bunch of duplicates. It doesn't require any energy crystals at all, and its effect is that it freezes all enemies in the stage for a handful of seconds. And it has a point deduction, a temporary point deduction of 1.